And good morning, YouTube. It's 4:35 p.m. Monday, May 9th, 2022, and I am flippin' tired. Oh man! So the good news is that Rob did get my car fixed today. Always kind of blows my mind when he does it with a quickness, especially after like this last repair taking fucking 7.5 months. But yeah, he's got it done with a quickness. That's a good thing. The bad thing is, man, I've told him so many times, text me, and yeah, he's insisted on calling, and the ringer on my phone has actually woke me up, and consequently, I'm not at all as well rested as I should be right now. Yeah, it's rough being a day sleeper when people don't understand you're a day sleeper. Because yeah, everything that he called me over, I could have easily, found in my inbox when I woke up and dealt with accordingly, based on the time I set my alarm to wake me up, and I would have been fine regardless of outcome. But as it is, I'm not so fine because I'm running on, I don't know, not enough sleep. Maybe about 4 or 5 hours of non-continuous sleep. I feel borderline drunk just from sleep deprivation right now, and I did, I don't know, maybe about 20 minutes ago ish, I checked the Amazon A to Z app to see if I could just do VTO, because I just don't feel like I'm well rested enough to do my job tonight. And it wasn't an option, so yeah, I'm heading to get my car and heading to work. Oh man, it just sucks being this tired. Anyway, so got a hell of a cool tow truck driver from AAA this morning. I think my last. Hi, how you doing? There's a sidewalk right there, dude. There's a sidewalk. Yeah. Asshole almost hit me on the sidewalk. Yeah, check that guy out. He doesn't understand how sidewalks work. All right. So, yeah, where was I? For almost being assaulted by a white SUV. Yeah, so tow truck driver from AAA. Yeah, last video I was rolling up to 7-Eleven to get some munchies, and it's some totally different sandwiches at that 7-Eleven. I got some ham and Swiss that was freaking delicious. That was cool. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, the tow truck driver was actually really, really cool. Tried to, I got the automated text that I expected from AAA, but then the tow truck driver tried to call me. Now, I had missed his call, and my guess is I just had my phone in my pocket and didn't hear it. But I called him right back. Like, I only missed it by a couple minutes when I checked my phone coming out of 7-Eleven, and called him back, and fortunately for once in my life, when he was asking, cross streets where I was at, and I gave him cross streets, and I was like, well, where are you coming from? And, check this out. I noticed this morning. Looks like they're starting to put the plumbing in right now for the salad and go. That's what the urgent care was. Anyway, so I asked him where he was, and he actually told me, which was nice. And actually was able to give him directions as far as the best route to get to me. And I had mentioned to him, I told him that I was, said the closest cross streets would probably be 32nd Street and Loop 202. I think of the best way to get there. And he said, and I was looking, anyway, he said the best way to get there, and it's like, well, I was just, to take 17. He was at like I-17 and 7th Street, 7th Avenue, one or the other. And, oh, wow, there's my bus. Oh, God, and I hope I got my bus card handy. I do. Anyway, long story short, because there's my bus. Of course, it could be a not-in-service bus, but I'm pretty sure that's my bus. If I'm memorizing this bus schedule at all. Anyway, he said, it's like, oh, well, just, take I-17 to I-10, I-10 to the 202, and just get off the 202. I said, so that's not going to work from where you're coming from, because when you get on the 202 from there, you won't have an exit for 24th Street. And he goes, oh, you're right. I'm like, yes, I usually am about these things. Because, there is a 24th Street exit, but you only get it if you're coming from the eastbound 10 to the 202, and the exit is actually kind of part of the exit ramp from the eastbound 10 to the eastbound 202. If you're going from the westbound 10, which is actually northbound at that area, the ramp doesn't offer the exit for 24th Street. And he's like, oh, you're right. And I said, yeah, let me think about this. So I used to be a cab driver. I'm good at this. He's like, okay. And I said, I think your best bet is going to be after you get on after you start going north there on I-10, which of course is a westbound 10, but you'd be headed north. So I think you're going to want to take the Washington Jefferson exit, turn right on Jefferson, and then left on 24th, and just take 24th all the way up here, and it'll be the first right past Loop 202. He's like, okay, well, that sounds simple enough, thank you. And what was actually kind of neat is at that point, after I got off the phone with him, I checked my text from AAA, and it was given a 4-minute ETA, which I think is funny because he was giving me about a 15-minute ETA, and as it was, it took about 8 minutes, so it split the difference. The route it was suggesting, his algorithm was, and I'm assuming he was probably looking at, if he was looking at the same app, it was probably suggesting the same thing, but the algorithm was showing that its recommended route was to take, and my guess is it's probably due to the fact that I was on a street where I could not give an actual address, as everything's based on addresses in these stupid computer algorithms, and I was on a piece of against a wall. I wasn't actually at an address, so I think the address that it's ended up attributing to me was an address on 24th Street as opposed to the side street that I was on, because the algorithm was recommending that he do right out the end of the 17 to the I-10 to the 51 north, and then exit onto McDowell. And that's another one of those that, depending on what direction you're coming, you might not have an exit. But yeah, if you're headed from that direction on the 10, on the transition ramp to the northbound 51, that's where there's an exit for McDowell. But yeah, it recommended oh, of course it is a not in service bus. Ain't that some shit? I do see a bus like right behind it though, so it's probably one of them. That's probably a 17. So anyway, it's yeah, I'm not looking at the app, but I bet almost anything that's the 17 heading down to McDowell and then heading eastbound on McDowell, which it really sucks that passengers at this bus stop can't catch that, because there's a pretty good chance this couple that is waiting near me is actually headed to McDowell to try and go that direction, and that bus could have saved them some time and hassle. But nope, if you're trying to go down McDowell, you need to wait for this next bus and then go down McDowell, and of course you missed the bus that was actually here that's going down McDowell. That's how Valley Metro doesn't service passengers. Anyway, so yeah, it was recommending that he take the 51 and then exit on McDowell and then turn right onto 24th Street and get to me that way, which of course would have created a situation where he would have been in a tow truck trying to turn left at a side street just barely north of the 202, and that is a tricky place to make a left. So I'm glad he followed my directions, and I followed him, and he followed my directions. And at one point, once he got off on Washington Street, the algorithm on the link from AAA, reflected the direction that he would be going to get to me. But one interesting twist, and my guess is that the algorithm sensed that he was exiting, but it was showing him to get off. It was showing him to get off, or get on the 202, head east, go down to 32nd Street, turn around, and then come back to me, which is insane. Anyway, my bus is here. Thanks for joining me on the walk.